The King of Clients, Episode 9. The Power of the List. We must not substitute tired platitudes for solid analysis. Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. Welcome back to the King of Clients. I'm your host, Ryan Johnson. We have followed the money, we have exposed the architecture of evil, and we have confirmed the ultimate systemic failure in the ghosts and the grid. Now we confront the final truth, the single most dangerous item that the elite have fought to keep buried, the list. Dr. King cautioned, we must not substitute tired platitudes for solid analysis. Our analysis here is not based on speculation, but on the public, verifiable record, the list, the flight logs, the unsealed court documents. We must analyze what this list truly represents, the currency of political immunity. The primary purpose of the King of Clients' entire operation was not just satisfaction, it was leverage. His properties were not simply mansions, they were data collection centers built for compromising the rich and powerful. The flight logs were not just travel itineraries, they were a ledger of high-profile vulnerability. The list of associates, the politicians, the princes, the financiers, was a shield designed to function as an insurance policy against prosecution. The knowledge that Epstein possessed dirt on the powerful meant that prosecuting him would have threatened to tear down the entire fabric of the American elite. The Justice Department did not trade the 60-count indictment for a sentence. It traded it for the promise that the list would remain buried, ensuring the comfort and convenience of the highest class. The records show a circle of highly powerful associates who traveled extensively with Epstein and were deeply entangled in his life. These names, including former President Bill Clinton and the British royal Prince Andrew, are mentioned in flight logs, travel documents, and even in the court testimony of the victims. The distinction is critical. Association is not automatically conspiracy, but the willingness of these figures to associate with a known, convicted sex offender, even after his first arrest, is a powerful moral indictment of their character and judgment. And it leads to the moral certainty that they did not fear the law that they themselves wrote, because they knew the King of Clients held the key to their destruction. They were collectively guaranteed immunity. The root of the evil is not the crime itself. It is the belief in impunity. These are the people who, by enjoying the 6 services of a criminal enterprise, ultimately protected it from the laws they write for the rest of us. They were the demand curve for the human degradation we detailed in the inventory of souls. When the Justice Department failed to prosecute Epstein, it was a message to the world. The rule of law does not apply to the privileged. The death of Jeffrey Epstein, the final institutional collapse, guaranteed that this network of high-profile individuals would never have to stand trial. The system chose to protect their reputations over delivering justice to 1,000 victims. The fight is not over. The list has been scattered into the public domain. The moral tension is now acute. The truth is too big to be contained. The list is not merely dirt, it is evidence of a political system compromised by its own desires. We must hold these men and institutions accountable, not just for their actions, but for the fundamental betrayal of the trust placed in them. The real lesson of the King of Clients is not that pure evil exists. It is that pure evil has been entrenched at the highest levels of our power, sanctioned by the people we entrust with our laws, our money, and our children. This is not an isolated incident affecting anonymous victims. This is not a failure of a single corrupt prosecutor or one corrupt banker. This is a complete structural hijacking of our society and institutions. The corruption is so incredibly deep, so total in its scope, that you cannot run from it. I know because I have looked for an escape. I would prefer a quiet life, far from the court documents and the moral filth of Jeffrey Epstein. I wish that the promise of the American dream, to live in peace, to raise a family, to work honestly, was enough of a shield. But it is not. The truth of this network, the truth of the inventory of souls, and the $1.3 billion blind spot tells us that there is no safe harbor, no corner of the earth untouched by the moral sickness that poisons the rule of law. This means the fight is not optional. It is a universal duty. Dr. King gave us the absolute moral truth that demands our action. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. The injustice done to those 1,000 children on that island affects your ability to trust your government, your bank, and your courts. It affects the foundation of society. You cannot escape the fight. You can only choose to engage. The work of moral reckoning must be fought right here where we stand.